Welcome to Talking About Kids. I am your host, R. Bradley Snyder, researcher, activist, and author of The 5 Simple Truths of Raising Kids. Nationwide, school libraries that are often refuges for those students who are being othered by their classmates, are being weaponized. In this final Pride Month installment of 2024, I asked several of the Grand Marshals of the 2024 NYC Pride March to react to the growing movement to deny students access to books with queer and trans voices. In this episode, you will hear Robin Drake, Afrolatino trans male advocate and professional with the Hetrick-Martin Institute; Eshe Ukweli, a writer, content creator, and digital strategist; DaShawn Usher, the Senior Director of Communities of Color and Media at GLAAD and founder and executive director of Mobilizing Our Brothers Initiative; Baddie Brooks, multi-instrumentalist, singer, songwriter, and champion for queer and transgender communities; Miss Major, author and pioneering activist and community organizer for transgender rights; and finally, Michelle Visage, singer, producer, and permanent judge on RuPaul's Drag Race. This episode is sponsored in part by the Arizona Department of Health Services Must Stop Bullying campaign through its Title V Maternal and Child Health Program. For more information, go to muststopbullying.org. And now, the interviews.
Growing up, I didn't even have a voice. And then suddenly in my last years of high school, they were like, oh yeah, you can use your actual, your chosen name and you can identify as what you want. And I was like, where was this a few years ago where I had to sit and fight with teachers just to call me my preferred name? Now that they're trying to get rid of it, I'm sitting here no, we need to stop this. We need more protections for trans youth and non-binary youth as well. It's so essential because it literally dropped the suicide rate by 25%. Important for queer kids and queer youth to have access to literature that looks like them. And I think not only do we do a disservice to queer youth when they're not able to pull books that represent them or reflect their stories, but we also do a disservice to non-queer youth. Books are a place for us to be able to go about and learn about other folks, for us to learn about the world that we live in and the communities that we're a part of. And so you do a disservice to not only queer youth, but also non-queer youth when you're pulling those books.
I think it's important to not remove books from libraries. It's literally an educational resource, right? I think for me, I was fortunate to grow up in New York City and take advantage of the New York City Public Library. And so I was able to just learn more about what I wasn't learning in school, but also being able to learn about it within my young adult and adolescence like literature. And so being able to read books that like actually explain like what it was that I was going through, or like to see that there were other characters, because at a point it wasn't on TV. It wasn't like you didn't have access to like that type of representation. And so the books actually became an escape for me. And it was actually what enabled me to understand that there was like life beyond. And I think that once we erase that, once we remove that, it also doesn't give us a fair opportunity to really learn about ourselves and other people and those differences that we may have.
I think that trying to remove queer and trans voices from libraries is insane. We deserve to have our voices amplified and heard. Queer and trans people are here. We exist. We've always existed for many years, and it's important to remember how we need to continue to advocate for protections for our queer and trans youth, and also how important it is that we are not only visible but safe, because, as I said before, visibility without safety is a trap.
That is absurd. You know, why are they doing this? They're doing that because of one person? That's all I heard about, one person.
Are you going to get rid of books with people of color in them and all of a sudden there's no people of color anymore? It's not the way humanity works. So you can try all you want to silence these people. These people will still exist. They need their voices. They need to be recognized. It's just stupidity. This is why your vote matters. If you had the right elected officials, they will fight for the rights. This is just stupidity. This is not moving forward. This is going backward. We are going back into dark ages. Your vote matters.
For more information about the Grand Marshals of the 2024 NYC Pride March, please visit talkingaboutkids.com. From there, you also can find out about upcoming episodes, suggest a topic, learn more about me and my books, or submit your questions for future guests. Our theme song is by The Senators. For more of their music, go to thesenatorsmusic.com. And remember, kids are young goats and young humans. And the difference is that young goats are easier to manage.